So the dilemma is this: how are professionals with aging parents like us, who were never taught the complexities and insider knowledge of the senior care industry, who carry the lion's share of responsibilities at work and at home, how do we move heaven and earth so our families can have their best, most fulfilling lives, and yet still have time and energy to make our own magnificent dreams and goals come true? That is the quandary, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Jason Brenizer, and welcome to Your Phenomenal Future. Hey, this is Jason Brenizer. I'm with Alley Assisted Living Investor Evolution and Silverleaf Elder Care Upscale Residential Assisted Living. I am wanting to talk today about the terrible effects of isolation. Now, we all know that if we have our mom and dad living in their home that they've been in since 1971, and one of them passes away. Now, their world has already become small, right? It's usually just the two of them. They're both retired. They're doing their shopping. Their friends have moved away. Some of them have passed on, and life has just gotten smaller and smaller for them. Now, one of them is totally alone at home. That isolation is not good. Watching the evening news, the negative stuff that they talk about, the fires and the stabbings and all that kind of stuff, I hate to bring it up, but that is not conducive for a healthy mental environment, okay? So we know that that's bad. And the whole idea that moving into assisted living gives people that sense of community, that sense of connection and belonging, and really having a viable social life is enormous. To do activities, eat with people, not just eat all alone. But the problem is during COVID-19, during a pandemic, we have issues of people being isolated in their private spaces. Now, this is a much bigger problem in bigger communities because they have a higher probability of having active COVID-19 cases. And when that happens, everyone's isolating. And so is there ever a time where they're able to come out of their rooms? During this 10 months, right now it's November of 2020, during this 10 months of this pandemic, how often have there been little stretches of time where they've been able to get that sense of belonging and being out into the community and doing things together? It's probably few of those in short and long periods of time of total isolation. So, people ask me with the residential assisted living, which is what we do, it's a much smaller community. So for our first site, we only have a maximum of 12 residents that we care for. And so just by that alone, our total staff that we have on the roster, it's smaller than you would have in a larger site. And of course, the number of visitors that we have are smaller, the number of doctors coming in and all of that, plus the number of residents and number of family members that we have interacting. So just by the size of our community alone, getting smaller, we have a critical mass for feeling like you're part of a family, but we're below that critical mass where there's just always an active case going on. In fact, in this 10 months, we've not had any COVID-19 cases. And so we've been able to stay fresh and open and eating together in the dining area and doing activities in the common areas and spending time outside in the bird sanctuary together. And when the weather's great, even doing some painting classes out there, because one of our residents is a really great artist, and she's teaching our other residents and some of our caregivers about art, which is fantastic. So we've been able to continue having these connections and not being isolated to our rooms. We've only had very short stints of isolation for individuals while they've been tested for COVID-19. So say someone spikes a fever, we immediately are going to go ahead and get that person into their private space, get them COVID tested, and within 3 days at this point, we're getting those results back. And typically it's not been something that's been a terrible pathogen. So we've been able to get them healthy and get them reintegrated back into the community very quickly. So I hope this is helpful. I hope you can understand why residential assisted living has a lot of benefits, especially when we're dealing with these trying times with the pandemic. I hope this is helpful. I really do. And I'll keep doing these videos as long as you want me to. Just leave your comments and questions below. I'd love to talk about whatever it is that you're interested in. And I do have long form videos and audio as well.
But I like to give these little short ones every so often to help everybody out there just take in a little bit of morsel and hopefully be able to apply that to their business. So I'm Jason. It's great to see you all. Adios from Austin, Texas.
I am a phenom mom, dad, boss, adventurer, friend, lover, son, daughter, child, traveler, but most of all, I am a phenomenal human being. I defy age, I bridge divides, I connect hearts, I generate joy, I grow with purpose, I heal my community. I embrace who all of us are becoming. Please subscribe to this podcaster channel to accelerate your success, and please share this episode with 3 friends who you know deserve a phenomenal future too, just like you.